Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Batch 2 launch webinar of the PGPFP program. As a panelist, we are having Mr. Amit Trivedi, sir, Dr. Miraj Inamdar, to introduce each one of them. Mr. Amit Trivedi is an adjunct professor at NISM with over 30 years of extensive experience in the capital market. Sir has conducted more than 1,700 workshops and trained over 4 lakh participants, including professionals from regulatory bodies, asset management companies, insurance firms, banks, distributors, RIAs, students, and the general public. A prolific author, Sir has written several books, contributed to over 1,000 articles to the mainstream media. His distinguished contribution to the financial education have been recognized through multiple accolades, including the prestigious Guru Gaurav Puruskar in 2023. Mr. Rajesh Singh is a regional manager, business development at FPSB India, with over 12 years of experience in education and publishing sector. Sir brings extensive expertise in guiding academic institutions and integrating educational programs. Dr. Miraj Inamdar is the program director of PGPFP program. He is working as an assistant professor at NISM. He holds a doctoral degree in ESG finance from the University of Mumbai. He brings over 11 years of experience in teaching and research, complemented by 2 years of corporate exposure. As an accomplished academic, he has several publications in the Index Journal to his credit. Dr. Inamdar has also conducted training programs for international delegates, officers from SEBI, RBI, IRS, IES, and other market intermediaries, reflecting his strong engagement with both academia and the financial service industry. I welcome you also. And over to you, Amit, sir.
Thank you so much, Srushti, and good evening to everybody. Welcome to this introductory session for the second batch of the PGPFP program. And I'll start with giving you an overview of what a particular industry involves and what is the scope, what are the career opportunities in this field. Incidentally, this is a relatively new field in India, financial planning. Okay, when I say new, I really mean it because internationally also this is not even a 50-year-old profession, maybe 50, 55 years. But in India, it started in this millennium. So it's less than 25-year-old profession compared to many other areas of financial services. This is relatively new entrant. So this is when in 2002, FPSB came to India. 2012 is when SEBI issued the regulations for investment advisors, and that gave a regulatory recognition to this field. So that way, it's a relatively recent career opportunity for many prospective employees or entrepreneurs. So let's start with what really financial planning is and what area of one's life it actually touches upon. I won't go into too much of details of this particular diagram. I just want to highlight a few aspects. And let's start with this particular aspect called expenses. Now, when you think of a financial advisor, a financial planner, an investment advisor, whatever name you want to call it, we don't think of expenses. We think of investments, insurance policies, we talk of tax planning, but it really boils down to only one thing, and that is expenses. Now, this expenses also is a very interesting part out here. Though the word appears only once on the slide, the reference is somewhere else, and that somewhere else is called financial goals, which are also nothing but expenses to be incurred for certain life events sometime in future. So we need to spend some money for a comfortable life now, and we want to achieve some financial goals in future so that our future life becomes better. And in that context, we need money to be spent in a certain manner so that our life becomes comfortable. We are able to live a life of our choice. But where does this money come from? And that's where the income that comes from occupation is called the active income, where we get salary, we get professional fees, we get business income. But for that, we got to work, we got to put in our skills, experience, abilities, time, physical labor, intellectual capabilities, all these things you have to put to work. And that's why it's called active income. And the other source of income comes from your investment portfolio. That's called passive income. Key point out here is the active income versus the expenses are not always aligned. So sometimes there is surplus income and less expenses. Sometimes there are large expenses and not enough income commensurately for that period. It is this mismatch of cash flow is where a proper planning is required. And this whole planning subject also involves various risks on the active income. And what are those risks? For some reason, my active income stops. And if I am the only earning member in the family, then my family's regular expenses would not be met. And forget about the future financial goals anyway. And in such a case, you need a protection to ensure that there is a replacement in case something happens to the active income. Right? When you go deeper into all these aspects, that's where the whole subject of personal finance comes in. And that's why the title of this slide says it is cash flow of life. Financial planning is not so much about generating extra return. It's not about buying the best insurance policy. It's about ensuring that the cash flow moves in line with one's own personal requirements. Financial planning is also often compared with the subject of wealth management. Now, I won't go into the differences between the two, but broadly, if you simply look at it from the wealth management angle, then there are three stages in anybody's life. The first stage is called the wealth accumulation stage, where we start with almost zero. Like, let's say when somebody starts working somewhere, before the first salary is earned, and I'm assuming that there is no inheritance so far, in that case, you start with zero wealth. You earn money, you spend some, the balance that is saving, you manage that saving in certain manner such that you accumulate wealth over a period of time. Let's say a few years or maybe a couple of decades later, you would have accumulated good amount of wealth. Once you accumulated that wealth, then the priorities now shift. Now it is no longer only about accumulation, it is about accumulation plus preservation. And when somebody reaches the senior age, that's when one starts to think about transferring the wealth to the next generation. Now, why am I mentioning all these things? In the first diagram, we saw it's a cash flow. In the second diagram, we are looking at it a slightly different perspective. Somebody who's got, depending on which stage of life one is, you have different goals. And when the goals are different, the strategies required to reach those goals are going to be different. And with this background, the whole subject of financial planning can be broadly broken down into 6 different boxes. Incidentally, the thread that passes through all these is not mentioned specifically out here. While it is important, the finance professionals can only help the client. And that common thread across all these is called management of one's budget, the expenses. And this expense management can only be done by the individual or the family. An advisor can only guide and nudge, but can't manage that part. Now, what is this budget management? Historically, whenever one has spoken to people about budget management, there has been a sort of negative connotation that, you will ask me to cut expenses. Not really. Then somebody comes up and says, I can't track all those small expenses. Well, again, budget management is not really about that as well. Budget management can be seen in another way. Let's say you go to a restaurant to have food. What does the waiter do? The first thing, he brings the menu card. Now consider this menu card in a restaurant as the list of what all expenses that you can incur. In the restaurant, just because there is a menu card in front of you, you don't really start spending on everything and ordering everything. Or you also don't really worry about, this is 2 rupees costly, this is 2 rupees cheaper. What you do is you decide which items you want and order accordingly, pay for it, and that's about it. Budget management is essentially the same thing, though there is no consolidated menu card anywhere. You can create your own list of items on which you would want to spend money. Once you've done that, then the money gets released because now you are not wasting money, you are spending by choice. And once that part is done, then comes the other 6 boxes which you see on the slides. Risk management, broadly speaking, it talks about insurance, but it is not only insurance. Risk management actually is about deciding how much insurance you need and how much insurance you want to take. Of course, I'm not even included how much you can afford, but how much you need versus how much you want to take. So these are the choices that you make. Insurance would include life insurance, health insurance, and general insurance. There is, in the wealth protection stage, when we were talking about, you accumulated certain amount of wealth. Now that wealth could be in the house that you are living in. That wealth could be in a house property that you rented out. It could be in the form of jewelry or other precious metals where you invested money. The moment you have assets in your name, in your possession, then there are threats. Can there be a theft in the house and something can be stolen? Can there be a fire? So that entire list of what can go wrong. As against that, there is another type of insurance policies available, and that's called asset protection. Once you acquired and accumulated assets, you need to protect those assets. Below asset protection is something called debt management. And this debt management is the amount of loans that you've taken. Are you taking the right loans, or are there any mistakes? Are these good loans or are these bad loans? If there are bad loans or excess loans, then what is the plan to reduce the debt burden? And that entire subject is called debt management. By the way, even before taking a loan, there is something called a credit score. Right? These days it's started to gain more popularity. Now, how do you ensure that you have a good credit score? Have you built a decent history? A good credit score means you should be able to get loans relatively easier than most others. You should be able to get loans at marginally lower rates of interest. You may also be able to get loans for longer periods of time. And that becomes essential. So the whole subject of debt management must also be all about checking your credit score and improving your credit score through your personal behavior. Out of all these, the most talked about and probably the most interesting topics are investment management and tax planning. And we just, a few days back, actually last Sunday, we had the union budget presentation, and that's where most Indians, whether they fall in the tax bracket or otherwise, they love to talk about taxes. So this tax planning, there are various provisions in the Income Tax Act which allow you to manage the money in certain manner. I'm not only referring to investments, but manage money in certain manner so that you actually take more money home after taxes, or you retain more money in your hands after taxes. So that's the whole subject of tax planning. Of course, investment is a huge world. NISM is an institution for capacity building, and it is set up by the regulator for securities markets, SEBI. So there are instruments within securities markets where you can invest, and there are a whole host of instruments outside of securities markets where you can invest. For example, there are bank deposits available, there are investment products from the insurance companies, and there are NPS type retirement planning products from the pension companies. But whole host of products. Many times people have asked this question after watching this MFI campaign, mutual fund sahi hai. The question they've asked is, really? Mutual fund sahi hai? No, actually, that's not the right question for individuals to ask. While mutual fund sahi hai, for an individual, the question is, mere liye kaun sa mutual fund sahi hai? Which mutual fund is sahi for me? And it applies not only to mutual funds, it actually applies to the entire scope of personal finance, all the 6 boxes. And the last one, which is succession planning, must address multiple points. Recently, the Prime Minister mentioned about a huge, crores of rupees lying unclaimed in various bank deposits or various dividends with various companies and stuff like that. That's when probably the succession planning was inadequate, because of which the money remains stuck there. Not only that, even when somebody can't access the money, can there be an arrangement through someone else where the money can be accessed when one is incapacitated or in any such situation? Now, this is broadly a very brief introduction of the scope of services. I'm simply elaborating on this from one point of view. When you start with this diagram called cash flow of life, and then you look at the scope of services, it actually impacts the expenses right from the childhood to the adulthood, middle age, old age, and passing on the wealth to the next generation. And to that extent, the scope of services that come under personal finance go beyond generations. Just think about it. Can a professional help one's clients manage the money in such a manner that the whole family is able to lead a financially comfortable life? And that is the sum and substance of the scope. So with that scope, what are the career opportunities? Whether you call somebody a financial planner, investment advisor, wealth manager, or call it by any other name, there are many large wealth management firms. We are at a stage where the average age continues, as a country, as the average age of the citizens continues to remain on the lower side compared to most of the large countries in the world. But at the same time, the wealth is growing. And there are various studies internationally conducted which say that the first $500 of income goes towards roti, kapda, and makan, the basic needs. Then we start discretionary spending. And once you cross $2,400 per year per capita, then it really gets into the luxury spending. I think we crossed that $500 mark sometime in 2004. And 20 years later, in 2024, we crossed that $2,400 mark. And that's why you are seeing so much spending on luxury items going on in the country. When you look around, you see so many people finding some of the luxurious items, they'll find it more affordable today. And when that wealth grows, people are going to need help. So there are wealth management firms where there's a huge demand. They are not getting enough number of people. In a similar manner, in the banks also, because banks act as distributors of various financial products, and they sell these products through relationship managers. And there is another, huge opportunity for jobs. There are independent financial planners or small wealth management firms. While there are large wealth management firms having multiple branches and large number of wealth managers as employees, there are small size wealth management firms which are more like a small setup of 7 to 10 to 15 people, sometimes 30 or 50 people, but a reasonably small setup. So those are entrepreneurial ventures where somebody says, okay, I don't want to work for somebody. Can I work on my own terms and simply help some of my clients manage their wealth? So those are opportunities where you can be independent. You can set up your own practice and make it big. Mutual fund companies mutual funds are managed by asset management companies, and that's one of the most popular of the firms over there. However, apart from mutual funds, now there are various other products within that space where employees are required for multiple purposes, especially for the purpose of reaching out to masses. India still is reasonably underpenetrated when it comes to the mutual fund or the securities market products or insurance products are concerned. So the people are required to reach out to the masses as educators or as sales managers or sales people. Now, within asset management company, one is mutual fund, the other is PMS or portfolio management services, third is the alternative investment funds. But in a similar manner, insurance companies and pension companies also need similar workforce. They do hire people with certain qualifications. And then the mutual fund distributors or insurance distribution firms, they need a separate skill set. And so these are broad career opportunities. Now, ancillary to this there are financial educators or the various investment education programs or trainers that are required in this field. There are journalists and authors required. There are content creators required as ancillary to all these various opportunities which are present in this area. And that way, if you see, the growth seems to be quite large, though I'm not sharing numbers. But my sense is this should be one of the, if not the highest, but at least within top 10 employment generator segments within the entire industry. With that, I'll stop here and hand it over to Dr. Miraj Dr. Srishti, and you can take it forward from there.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Mr. Rajesh Singh to share some insights about the CFP program.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks to Dr. Srishti Khare for introducing me and for giving me the opportunity to speak about the program and for the brief about FPSP India and CFP certification. We are happy to have this webinar for the second batch of our joint PGPFP program by National Institute of Securities and Markets and FPSP India. Thanks to to Amit Trivedi sir for explaining very nicely about the importance of financial planning and scope and opportunities, career opportunities available in the financial planning domain. You are very right, sir, that financial planning is nowadays is very important and very much aligned with the need and scope available in our country. You also mentioned rightly about the different kinds of jobs available in the market, along with the opportunity of practicing after completing our joint PGPFP program. Recently, one of the top public sector bank of India came up with 1,000+ jobs where CFP certification is preferred. And this is just one example. While there are many opportunities available in the market with AMCs, with mutual fund organization, with insurance industry, with banks, and with others also. Now I will give you the brief introduction about FPSB India and some brief about the CFP certification. So, FPSB India is a subsidiary of Financial Planning Standards Board Limited, USA Limited, the global standard setting body for the financial planning profession. And we are the owner of International Certified Financial Planner Certification Program, which has over 2,23,000 plus CFP professionals worldwide. And in India right now, we have around 3,500 plus CFP professionals. And given the robust demand for financial planning profession, this number is expected to grow in double digits over the next few years. Uh, if I talk about CFP certification, the Certified Financial Planner Certification Program is a globally recognized mark of excellence in financial planning and represents a high standards of competence and ethical practice. FPSB India holds the exclusive right, as I mentioned, that we are the owner of this CFP certification program in India also, worldwide also. Candidates acquiring CFP certification are equipped with the multi-facted skills in the evolving space of financial planning, including investment planning, risk and estate planning, tax and retirement planning. FPSB's CFP certification is recognized in 28 territories across the globe for its rigor. And when I'm saying territories, it can be a good combination of few countries also, ensuring that the graduates are well equipped to meet the growing demands of contemporary financial service industry. CFP professionals adhere to a stringent code of ethics because we always focus on the ethics part. Once you will be through the PGPFP program, and once you complete the certification provided by NISM, provided by CFP certification, you will complete the ethics module also. And they are required to maintain ongoing education to stay updated with the industry changes and best practices. This ensures that CFP practitioners continue to deliver high quality advice that aligns with the changing financial landscape and client needs, because this is one of the industry and one of the domain where you need to update yourself. Maybe every day you need to see that what is happening in the market. Earning a CFP certification not only enhances credibility and trust, but also opens the door to a wide range of career opportunity in areas such as financial planning, wealth management, investment advisory, insurance, and tax planning. It is particularly valued by profession looking to serve clients with comprehensive goal-oriented financial strategies. With that, I will hand over to Dr. Srishti Khare and Dr. Miraj to proceed further. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Miraj Inamdar to share his insights about the PGPFP program. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Srishti. I hope my screen is visible, Srishti.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So thank you, Amit sir and Rajesh for introducing this program and scope of the financial planning. So now as a program director, I would like to introduce the program structure. So be prepared with your questions also. So while introducing it, if you have any questions, so please post in a Q&A box. So at the end of this presentation, we will address it. So first of all, the program which we are launching now, or we are taking admission, is for the second batch. We are very happy and proud that first batch is about to conclude in coming months, and we are getting a very good response and feedback from the batch one. So with this, we are introducing this joint certificate program, where joint means NISM and FPSB India, they together are participating and are conducting this program, PGPFP. So, those who don't know about the NISM, so NISM, National Institute of Securities Market, is established by Security Exchange Board of India, SEBI. And we have a campus in Patalganga. This program is online. And if you see NISM, it's a certification body also. You will see most of the intermediary certificate every year, more than 4 lakh people appear for the certification. And we have the alumni base for more than 1,000 students. Here, Rajesh has very insightfully, he has discussed about the CFP and how is the scope of the CFP. Now, about this program, so this is a 12 months program, and there are the 4 trimester in this program, and there are the 360 hours live teaching. So it's not a recording plus a live. It is a pure 360 hours is a live teaching. So people can participate in discussion, can ask live questions. So this is a live teaching contact hours, 360 hours. Along with that, we will have 2 campus immersions here. It's just not a purely the online, but in throughout the program, total 5 days, which is bifurcated into 2 immersion. You can come to the campus, you can visit with to the faculty, you can discuss with the resource person, you can visit to the library, you can experience the full-time academia here also in this immersion weeks. And by taking into consideration that most of the working professional will take admission to this program, we have made this program on a weekend basis. Although it is a weekend basis, it's not that every weekend it is the program. So out of 4 weeks, 3 weeks will be the sessions, and 1 week will be the holiday in a month. Now talk about the certification. So we will have 5 NISM certificate and plus 4 FPSB certificate. Because see, to become a SEBI registered investment advisor, you need to clear investment advisor 10A, 10B certificate also. So in addition to CFP certificate, you need to have that certificate. So by taking into that consideration, we have combined this NISM certification as well as the CFP certification, so that you will be globally also recognized and locally also relevant. So that's why the 9 certification are included in this. So here, if you see which area we are emphasizing, what the Amit sir was talking about and Rajesh was talking about. So here are the modules which we are going to teach. The investment planning, risk and estate planning, retirement planning, and tax planning. So these are the CFE core modules. In addition to that, we have also embedded in this securities analysis, mutual fund, fixed income, and also a ESG integration for the personal financial planning. So these are the learning outcome as the Amit sir was discussing about what could be career opportunities in that. With that, it is pegged, and this will be your outcomes. So here the faculties are from the not only the NISM faculties, but also the faculties, those who have already completed the CFP certificate. So those who have gone through that that CFP examination. So they are also teaching them CFP modules. And also we frequently call the market professionals, SEBI officers, if any regulatory perspective need to give to the students. So that we are discussing, and we will focusing on the case-based and studies in our classroom. So as I've told you that 2 weeks campus immersion will also included in this program, and also in the fees. There is no extra thing is in you need to pay for this. Next is what is the eligibility for this program? So any bachelor degree with the 50% and above marks for the application for this program. Then after you will be called for the personal interview, and we are giving a weightage for the your academic performance and the personal interview performance, and then we will shortlist the student for that. Here you will see the timing for the classes is Saturday 6 to 9:15 p.m. and Sunday from 10 to 5:15 p.m. I included the break time. Fee structure, if you're seeing, it's 3,18,000 inclusive of the GST and other expenditure, and also includes a 9 certificate and campus immersion is the inclusive fees, not excluding. So what are the key dates? Application already open, and this will be open till March 2026. Then we will conduct the interview between April 6 to 9, 2026, and hopefully we will start the session on 16 May. The first session will be there, and then June will be the first immersion. Career opportunity already as talked by the Amit sir. These are our faculty. Here, Rajesh Krishnamuji sir is there, who is also CFP. Ashnabe, Dean Academics are there. I'm also teaching in this program. Joydeep Sen. Amit sir is also there. Suresh Narayan, who is a visiting faculty. Sanjeev Mathur, who is having a more than 25 years of experience. Shilpa Wagh, a very known financial advisor. Then Neeta Menzies is there, Arup Mukherjee, Avinash Kharkar, Mohini K. Mahadeva, Padmavati Selvam, Jigisha Thakkar, Kalpesh Gada. So these are the respective faculty we are calling for this whole program. So what is the value of this certificate program? So this is we have included SEBI mandated certificate in this, and also a CFP recognized or dual. So you are getting a three kind of the eligibility means through this program you will appear for the certificate. That certificate also you are getting NISM and CFP, and if you successfully pass the module also, then you will get the PGPFP certificate as well. Okay. And these are the online and a weekend basis program, and all the industry integrated means expert faculty we have embedded in this program. So this is the last batch immersion program which we have conducted in July 10th to 13 in NISM campus Patalganga. Most of the student has attended this program. These are the faculty who were taking a session during the immersion week. These are the participants at our campus. These after session photos. And this is generally how our class look like. So the online session generally we conduct. So, so if you have more question on this program, so you can also email to us on this pgpfp@nism.ac.in, and also this is the contact number where you can discuss with our counselor if you have any doubt. So with this, let me stop here and go to the Q&A session. So, Ranjan was asking about the total time and frame and fees. So Ranjan, I have explained to you about how much is the total time and fees. If you have any other questions, so please ask us. Okay, so that's all. So After this webinar also, we will send you a brochure of this program. And that's all about this program and explanation of this. And on behalf of NISM, I would like to thank Amit sir for explaining the career opportunity in the financial planning. Also, thank to
Miraj sir,
Mr.
sorry, Miraj sir, there is one more question. Somebody's
Huh.
asked about the
Okay.
9 certifications, if we can list out. Yeah.
Okay, 9 certificates. So fourth certificate is the CFP certificate. And then the 5 certificate, including investment advisor 10A, 10B, mutual fund distribution certificate, and also securities market foundation certificate, and research analysis certificate also we have embedded.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so these are the 5 NISM certificates, and 4 certificates are related to the
CFP.
retirement planning, tax planning, estate planning, and integrated financial planning. So these are the 4 certificates from the CFP panel. Placement support, this is the online program, so there is no placement support for this. But FESB India, they are frequently posting the opportunities which is arising in this area. So they are also very well connected to the industry. So they are updating the students about the various opportunities.
Correct, Dr. Miraj. Just to add that, as I mentioned in my speech also, that recently one of the bank, which is the public sector unit bank, they came up with 1,000+ job opportunities, and where the CFP certification was preferred. And this is just a one example. We receive a lot of job opportunities from AMCs, from insurance organization, from banks. So I'm sure placement will not be a problem. We will share the opportunities available with the candidates who are enrolling for the program and who are successfully completing the program.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh. Ranjan is asking about, are people from finance background are prefer for this program or equal weightage for everyone, like engineering background is given? So see, we have not specified the stream here. So those who have inclined towards to make a career in financial planning, they are welcome. And see, our financial advisory or program advisory board, they have carved out this program so that the term one will be is covering the basics of the securities market, financial market. So those who doesn't have a much background of the finance, they can also have the first introduction about this market. Yes, but as compared to the finance professional, non-finance professional has to work little bit higher side. Means some concept you need to read more. But our faculty is providing the reference material, and also by referring that, you can also be with that code. But as far as now, we have not differentiating in eligibility criteria for finance or non-finance area. Anybody can apply. Okay.
So there's one more question, that whether the recordings are available in case they have missed any session.
Uh, See, generally we encourage students to appear for the online session because there are the attendance requirement is also needed, minimum attendance requirement. In rare circumstances, we generally share the recording to our student also. That is also available.
Generally, I just add to what Dr. Viraj was mentioning. Generally, the experience is that the classrooms are quite participative in nature, and there the tremendous amount of learning takes place. So, if you simply have missed out, then a lot gets missed out, and that's why I mean, apart from the minimum attendance requirement, this is another reason why we insist that all classes should be attended. But as Dr. Mehraj was mentioning, exceptional circumstances, yeah, recording may be available.
Yes. So that's all about this program. So yeah, if you have further questions, so you can also ask us. I hope any one question, I think I'm seeing Q&A. Fees, Ranjan, we have mentioned in our brochure also is 3,18,000 rupees. So you can see on our brochure also.
And that is inclusive of your all the certification as well as 2 immersion programs.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much, Amit sir again, and Rajesh and Dr. Srishti Khare also. And thank you all of the attendees, those who have attended this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, team NISM, and thanks the attendees. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.